Hello and welcome to CEB. Today we will discuss list, tuple, set, dictionary in Python. So what is a list? List is a collection of different data values. These different data values are nothing but the values of different data types. We had already discussed different data types in one video named data types in Python. I will share the link in the description box so you can go and check the video if you have not previously watched. Now, we will take one real life example of calling the students who are present today. So for that, I will call that roll number. So the roll number one, like roll number one, two, and three. So I have noted them by putting the comma. So this will create a list for me. Now we will take one more example of creating the result of student. For that, I will note down the roll number, name, percentage of the student. So, for example, the value of the roll number will be 3, name will be Tina, and the percentage she got is 89.5. Here, one thing to be noted that here I have used different data values like 3 is an integer, Tina is a string, 89.5 is a floating point number. That means the list can be a combination of different data values. Here in the previous example, it was a list of only integer number. So what are the possibilities? That the list can contain any data values. It can be same data values or it can be the combination of all the data values that are present in Python. So here we have discussed the two different real life examples. Now from there, I will create the list for Python. So in Python, same thing I'm going to note it down by putting the comma. For example, I noted 1, comma 2, comma 3. Now for creating the list in the Python, I'm going to enclose everything in square bracket. So I have enclosed it in the square bracket. So square bracket beginning and square bracket at the end. Now what is remaining is that giving the variable name. For variable name, what are the rules? For that also one video is created. Name as the variable in Python. So again I will provide the one link for that. Okay, so here what is the variable name given is present. The present is the name which will denote a list. So present is the list containing the element 1, 2, and 3, and all are separated by commas. Second list that is created is result. Result is a list which is having containing element 3, Tina, and 89.5, and again they are enclosed in the square bracket. Here also a list area is created which will contain areas of different shapes. So if you want to print it, so for printing, what is the syntax? Print statement, and within this parenthesis of print statement, I will going to write the name of the variable, which value I am going to print. So after printing it, what I'm going to get, I will going to get these values. Now the one more list is created whose name is XYZ. XYZ is the list containing two elements, hello and 4.5. So if you are going to print it XYZ, so what I'm going to get, I'm going to get hello and 4.5. The way of creating the list will be by using the one more function which is called as the list function, which is called as the inbuilt function. So list is the inbuilt function. So that is I'm going to not use the list without having any parameter, list having the string as a parameter, and list having the input as a parameter. Okay, so first we will take a list having the values. So here the list having the value is that we are going to pass the any string. So here 2 will be treated as a string, it's not an integer. Now I want to print the value of your list, so print n. So what I'm going to get here is 2, which is a string. Now list ls is a list that is created by using the list function, the list with the parameter which is string. So here when I'm going to create the list with the parameter hello, so what I'm going to do, after printing by using the print statement, the individual characters are going to be displayed, whereas in your previous case when xyz is created without using the list function, So hello will be store combined name as a single string. So this is the main difference by using the list function and without using the list function. Here, one more list is created by having it is having all the values, possible values like integer, string, and the floating point number. And if we are going to print it, what we are going to get, we will get the same element of the list. Now, this is the list which is not having any element. So this is called an empty list. Now, if you're going to print this list, which is an empty list, what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the square bracket without having any element. Another way of creating the list is by without using the parenthesis. So if you're going to create a list without using the parenthesis, what we are going to get after printing it, we will get nothing. Another way of creating a list is by using the list input and the string. So list as a parameter I'm taking input, and input is also taking a parameter. Suppose what is the use of the input function is to allow the user to determine what kind of data has to be inserting. So here I'm giving the one kind of instruction to the user that we have to enter the elements of the list. So whenever I'm going to create a list by using the input function, so whatever value I'm going to enter, that will be treated as a string. Suppose because of this list and input function, I'm going to enter the value 2. So that value 2 will be treated as a string. So here, after the execution of this command, m is equal to list input and enter the list element, the cursor will bring here. And if you are going to enter the value, for example, 1, that 1 will be treated as a string. So here, after the execution of this string, what we are going to get, we will get enter the list element and cursor will be wait here for you to enter the value. Suppose here I enter the value 3. So this 3 will not be treated as an integer number, it will be treated as a string. Again, for the second time, if we are going to compile this instruction, so what it's going to do is going to create, it will create the, it will display this kind of message. And suppose now this time, when the cursor is waiting for me to type something, I type Ram. So at that time, this Ram will be treated as a, it will consider each and every character as a separate element of the string, like R, A, M. So this is the difference between the, these are the different ways of creating the list. Now, how to access the different elements of the list? So for accessing the individual element of the list, what we have to do, we have to we have to access the list element by using this method, which is called as the list variable, and within the square bracket I'm going to write the index. Now what is an index? Let's just take that element of the list. So here we are having M as a list which is containing element 1, 2, and 3. How they are stored internally? They are stored internally by having the index number. So here we are going to have 3 different cells. Each different cells is going to have the number called as 0 cell, 1 cell, and 2 cell. So cell number 0, at cell number 0, what is present? The element number value, the element 1 will be stored. Add to cell number 1, what is present? Element 2. What is present at cell number 2 is value 3. So in order to store the list element, the indices are going to be created. That is called as a cell. So for each cell, so each element is indicated by each index. So this is your index number 0, this is your index number 1, this is your index number 2. So if you want to display any element, so how we are going to refer? We are going to refer this element. These elements are going to be referred by their indices. We cannot access directly by giving the value. So what is the way of accessing the elements of the list is by using the list variable name. Then we have to write square bracket. Within the square bracket, I have to write index. Suppose I want to access what is present at index number 2. For that, what I'm going to write? I'm going to write the list variable name. What is the list variable name? Is M, and what is the index? Index is 2. So I'm going to write M, then square bracket and 2, which we are going to call as M of 2. So if you're going to write if you're going to write m of 2, what is going to return? Is going to return the value which is present. Okay, so what is present in index 2? The number 3 will be present. So it's going to display the value 3. So here print m of 1. So what is that? What is present in index number 1? So at the index number 1 value 2 is present, so it is going to display 2. Now here we are having print statement for displaying each and every value of the list. As we are having 3 elements, we are going to write 3 different statements. In the first statement, what I'm going to write? I'm going to write m of 0. What indicate what is present in index number 0? What is present in index number 0 is 1. It will display 1 here. What is present at index number 1 here? What is present in index number 1 is 2. So because of this print statement, value 2 will be displayed. Now what is present in m of 2? So at index number 2, what is present? At index number 2, 3 is present. Because of that, we will get value at 3. So always this method, which is called as indexing, what is going to return your list variable, and within the square bracket index is going to return an element. So that element, as this is an element, that is a value, can be used with the print statement, can be used with the if statement, can be used with the for loop, and can be used with the while loop. Now, in order to access the element, all the elements of the list, the shortcut method is by using the for loop. Otherwise, as there are the 3 statements, we have to write 3 print statements. If there are the 10 statements, we have to write 10 print statements. If they have 1000 elements, so we have to write 1000 print statements. So instead of doing that, we are using the shortcut method, which is displaying or accessing the list element by using the for loop. In order to use for loop for displaying the element of the list, what first method, the first function that we should know is the length method. What is that length method? Is len. Len is a built-in function. What is going to do is going to return the number of elements that is present in the list. So how many elements are present in the list? For example, in this list, in order to display the element of the list, we have to use the length function. The method is length and the variable name. That is your list name here. So in order to access the this thing, in order to find the length of the string, the length of the list, we are going to use the length function that can be useful for accessing the integer element of the list. So here, if m is equal to 1, 2, 3, which is a list containing element 1, 2, 3. So what is the total length of the list? So how many elements are present here? That is 3 elements are present here. Now we will, in order to access all the elements of the list individually, len method is used, plus the range method is also used. So what is the format of the range method is that we are going to use some this thing, range and the number. Till what number you want the sequence of number that has to be generated. So what is the range function will do? It will return series of integer numbers. That is, if the number is, for example, here if I'm writing range and within the parentheses I'm writing 3. So I want the sequence of integer number till this number minus 1. So I will get the numbers sequence or number that is starting with 0. So starting from 0 till 3 minus 1. So starting from 0 till 3 minus 1 is 0 to 2. So it will generate the number that is 0, 1 and 2. So here that is we have taken the example range of 3. So number that will be generated will be 0, 1 and 2. So suppose we are having this code is written a is equal to range of 3. So what kind of data will be present in a? A for the first step will contain value 0. So for I in a, so this is the method of using the for loop. This I will contain the first value of a. So I will contain value 0. So print I. So the value of I, that is 0, will be printed here. Next time again the same statement will be executed till it will come out of the loop. So at what time it will come out of the loop, we will check here. Next time the value of a will be what is present here. So next time the value of a will become 1. So for I, so I will become 1 here. So again we are going to print the value of I, that is 1. Next time again will enter the loop, and this time the value of a will be 2. So the value of I will be 2 here, and we are printing the value 2. And next time, what is the way? What is the value of a here? No value is given because that is what 2 was the last limit. That was the last element of the range function. So here the a is not having any value. Is if as a is not having the any value, so I is also not having any value. So it will come out of the loop. Now we will have the follow function. Follow function is used, follow is used for displaying the individual element of your so it is used for accessing all the elements of the you can say list, and plus it can be used for displaying, because if you are going to use within the follow body, if we are going to write print statement, so it will automatically display the all the elements of the loop. So let us consider the example how what is the format of writing the loop statement and how it's going to work. So the loop statement is used to iterate over the sequence. So this sequence can be the list, tuple, string, and it can be range also that we had already discussed. So what is the format of using the for loop is for, which is a keyword, any value that we have taken in the previous example as I in is a keyword, and the sequence in the previous example we have taken the A. A was the range 3, and then we have to put the colon. If you are not going to put colon, it will give the error message. So the syntax is for val in sequence colon, and we are going to leave some space here, which is called as an indent. If you're not going to leave, if you're not going to keep some space here, it will generate the error message. So whatever we are writing after leaving some space will be treated as a body of your for loop. And if we want to come out of this body of the for loop, we are now going to leave any indent, which is called as, which is nothing but we are spacing, we are leaving some space, which is called as an indent. So if you want to come out of the loop, so we are now going to use indent. So whatever statement we are writing below, exactly below the f of your for statement, for a word keyword, that means that is the next statement after the body of your for loop. Now how the for loop is going to work is that we are going to use this flow chart. So what is present in the flow chart is for each item in sequence, for each item, for example, we have taken ICA value. So the ICA value initially here, if you are going to take this example, ICA value in range length of M. What is the length of M here? What is M here? M is 1 to 3. So the length of M is 3. Now for I in range of 3, that means the range will display what kind of value? The range will display the value 0, 1 and 2. For the first iteration, the I value will be 0. So the for each element of your, for each value of I is going to check whether the last item is reached. What was the last item for the range function? For the range function, the last item is 3. So it will check whether the 3 value is reached or not. No, it is now value 0. So the last item is not reached. So it will go into the body of the for loop. So what is present in the body of for loop? How we will determine the body of for loop? Whatever is written after this indent will be treated as a body of the for loop. So what is the body of for loop? Here is only one print statement. What is then in the print statement is print M of I. What is this M of I is now? What is the value of I here? The value of I is the first value of your range function, which is 0. That means I am printing M of 0. So because of that, what is present at the location or the index 0? So what is present in index 0? It is, this is your index number 0. So which element is present in index number 0? 1, so value 1 will be displayed here. Now again, after printing this statement, what is going to do? It will again enter the for loop. So at this time, what is the value of range? The value of range will be here, will be 1, which will be assigned to variable I. Now the variable I is having value 1. Again, it will insert the for loop and will check whether the last item is reached. No. So what is going to do is we are going to enter the body of for loop. What is there in the body of for loop is again M of 1. So what is M of 1? What is present at the index number 1? At the index number 1, value 2 is present, so value 2 will be displayed. Again, it will insert in because the after execution of the body of for loop, it will again enter inside the for loop. Now this time, what is the value of I? Now this time the value of I is 2. It will check whether the last FM is reached. No, so it will enter the body of for loop. What is that in the body of for loop is print M of I. M of I is nothing but M of 2. What is present in M of 2? The value 3 is present. So it will display value 3. Now after execution of body of for loop, again it will enter inside the for loop. Now this time the value is not present here, nothing is present. So that is the last element. So whether the last element is reached, yes. So what will come? It will come out of the loop. So whatever thing is present after the for loop body will be executed. So what suppose I'm writing here print m of length of m. So again the value of the length of m will be displayed. So how we will come to know whether the body is terminated? So whenever we are whenever we are not going to leave indent, so that will be treated as the exit of your for loop. Now the next one is how we are going to assign the values, assigning the new values to the list element. For assigning the values to the list element, we are going to use equal to signs. For what is the method of using assigning the value? The normal method. For example, I want to assign value to variable a. So for that, what I'm going to write? I'm going to write a equal to 2. The same thing for the list variable. To any variable, if you want to assign the value, first of all, I should load the index. So here we are having element 1, 2, and 3. What is the position of element number 1? It is present at index number 0. What is the position of element 2? It is present at index number 1. What is the position of element 3? It is present at index number 2. So if you want to assign number 22 to the first element of the index, which is present in index number 0, first element of the list. So this this is present at the index number 0. So I will assign L of 0 equal to 22. And now if we are going to print the list, what I will see the modified value present at the index number 0. Now how we are going to create a nested loop. Nested loop is nothing but the list inside the list. So the list element can be present as another list. So the list element can be the list element can also contain one more list, which is called as the sublist. For example, here we are having. So how we will create how we will create the nested list is that first we will write the variable name, then we will write equal to and whatever elements we are having, and if you want to add the list here, so we will treat that list as the sub list. It can be in the beginning, it can be in the middle, it can be at the end, anywhere I can add a sub list. Now this time, so whatever list is created here will be called as a nested list. For example, I have created a nested list M containing element 1, element 2, and element 3. That means the total length of my list is 3. Why it is 3? Why it is not 4? Because whatever is present inside this square bracket. So whatever is present inside the square bracket here, see within this square bracket. So this 4 and 5 all together will be considered as a single element. So how many elements are present here? One element, second element, first element here, second element here, and the third element. The total length of this nested list is 3. So here I can check. Here I am having the same list, and here I am printing the length of the list by using len function, len function. So what is the total length is 3. How this nested list will be stored, how the elements are going to be stored, they are going to be stored in the matrix format. That means we are going to have the combination of rows and columns. So here we are having rows and here we are having column. This is column number 0, this is column number 1, this is row number 0, row number 1, and row number 2. Where the first element will be stored. The first element will be stored in the row 0 and column 0. So row 0 and column 0 is going to make cell 0, 0. Okay. So at the cell 0, 0, which element is present? Number 1. Now this is your index number 2. That is, this is the second element. So second element will be given which index. The element number 1 is present in the row number 0. This will be present in row number 1. So in row number 1, what is present? Here we have two values. That means now they are going to store in column uh, column 0 and column 1. So in row 1 and column 0. So in row 1 and column 0, this cell will be known as cell 1 0. So in cell 1 0, which value is present? Value 4. Now value 5, where it will be present? It will be present in row 1 and the column 1. So row 1 and column 1 may make the cell number 1 1. So in cell number 1 1, what is present? Element number 5 is present. Okay, now where this element, the third element will be present, as this is a single element, this is not a sublist, it will be directly present in row number 0. So in row number 0 and column number 0, in row number 2 and column number 0, the element number 2 is stored. Now how we are going to access the element of nested list? Again, we are having the same list and we are finding the length of the list, that is 3. Now how will you find the what is the length of the list is? I can check the variable explorer also. So here if after checking the variable explorer, I will come to know that total length of your list, the size of your list is 3. Now suppose I'm printing the this thing your list. So because of that I will get this output. Now I'm printing the first element. So where is the first element present? The first element present in row number 0 and column number 0. So if this is only the single element, I can directly write row 0 also. So for that here I have written m of 0, that is the row number, because that is not the nested list. So I can directly write row 0. So that is m of 0. Because of m of 0, what I'm getting value 1. Now the first element of the sublist. So where is the first element of the sublist is present? The first element of the sublist is present in row number 1 and the column number 0 having the cell number 1 0. This will be treated as your indices. So the indices will be 1 and 0. So what is present at the cell number 1 0, and how we are going to note it down? We are going to write down column number is in the square bracket and the row number in square bracket. That we have to write first the row number and then the column number. So the row number and the column number both has to be written individually and has to be enclosed in square bracket. Just like m of 1 and 0. So 1 indicate the row number and 0 indicate the column number. So which element is present? Which is the first element present in your sublist? That is 4. Now, which element is present in the second position of your sublist? So for the second position, that is row number 1 and the column number 1, same indices I'm going to use for accessing the second element of your sublist. This is your row number 1 and the column number 1. So what is present here is 5. And the last element, which is not a sublist, so directly where it is present here in row number 2, because nothing is present in your second element of the sublist. So this is not a sublist. So directly I can write only the row number. So I'm writing only the row number. So m of 2. So what is present in m of 2? 4 is present. Okay. Now again here we are having a list F which contain 2 sublists. So this sublist contains a name of the student Ram, his age and the roll number. The second sublist contains name of the student, age and his roll number. So we are going to print it. I can directly print by using print F. So what I'm going to get? I'm going to get this thing. Now if you want to count how many elements are present, because this square bracket, whatever is present in this square bracket will be treated as the element, only one element. Whatever is present in this square bracket will be treated as a single element. So one element here, one element here. So 1 plus 1. What is the total size of this list F is? It is 2. So if you are going to check your variable explorer, from there we will come to know that the total element which are present in the list is 2. Now how we will access the individual element of your nested list by using the for loop. Okay, so for accessing the elements which are present in your nested list, we are going to use for loop. And whenever we are having nested list, always we are going to consider the row and the column format. So here we are having M, which is containing one sublist here and one sublist here. So there are two sublists, so the total number of element which is present in this list is 2. Now how to display each element of your list instead of writing M of 0, 1, M of 0, 0, M of 1, 0 like this. Okay, that we had already discussed in the previous slide. Here, M of 1, 0, M of 1, 1. Suppose we are having 100 sublists. So at that time, we will start from 0, 0 till 99. So, so many lines, so many means 100 lines will be there for displaying, for accessing each and every element of that nested list. So instead of that, we are going to use shortcut by using the for loop is there for R in M. So this R will be prepared for the row number. So how many these things are there? How many rows are there in M? So there are 2 rows in M. So it will directly consider N. It is having the 2 sublists. That's why it's going to consider row number as 2. That will be 0 and 1. So R is going to have one value as 0 and next M is going to have the value as 1. For T in R. So how many columns are there in the list? That will be taken directly from the M. So R, your M is having 2 by 3 matrix. So the row values will be stored in R and the column values will be stored in T. So we are going to write first for loop for accessing the rows and the next for loop for accessing the column. So here M is we can say a matrix of 2 rows and 3 columns. So the row values will be stored in R and from R, which also contains 2 by 3, which will be P will contain the column number. So the R will contain the row number and P will contain the column number. So for the row number which is 0, it will start value with 0. So two rows are there, that means indices will be 0 and 1. So for the first value in R will be 0 and the first value in T, which is a column number. So column number, there are 3 columns, it will start with 0. So for row 0 and the column 0, that is your cell 0, 0. So what is there in cell 0, 0 is the value 1. So what we are doing is we are printing that value. That value will be printed here. And again we are having the for loop. So it will come out of the loop till the value is not going to match. So it will enter inside the loop again. So now this time the value of R will remain same and the value of T is going to change. So this time the value of T will be now, previously it was column 0, now it is column 1. So what is present in row 0 and column 1, which is cell number 0 and 1. So what is present in cell number 0, 1 is the value 2. So value 2 will be printing. Again it will enter inside the loop for T. So the T value is now changed. Now T ka value will be 3. So in the same row and with the new column. So same row, that is row number 0 and the column number 2. That is your cell number 02. What is present in cell number 02 is 3. So 3 will be printed. Now this time all the values of the columns are executed. Now it will go into the outside the loop, that is the exterior loop, and it will change the value of R. So previously it was the value of R was 0. Now this value of R will be 1. So now value of R will be 1 and the T will again going to start with the column number 0. So it is now row number 1 and the column number 0. So now row number 1 and the column number 0, which element is present here. So add row number 0 and column number row number 1 and column number 0, that is cell 10. What is present in cell 10? Value 4. So value 4 will be printed. Now it will again enter inside the your interior loop, that is for T. Now T ka value will be now incremented by 1 So it will go to the column number 1. Of which row? The row will be same. The R will be same here. So it will go to row number 1 and the column number 1, that is the cell number 1 1. Which element is present in cell number 1 is 5. So this 5 will be printed here. Now again P will be incremented by 1. So it will go to the column number 2. Which column number 2 of the same row, that is the same I, that is the row number 1. So which element is present in cell number 1, 2, it is the element number 6. Now it will, all the columns of P are Excel. Now it will go and change the value of R. The value of R is also going to exceed its limits. Because of that, it will come out of the loop and will execute the statement which are present outside the both the nest, both, or we can say the nested for loop. Now here we are in practice question that we have to solve, and you have to cross check whether how much you understood list in Python. So what you have to do, you have to write the Python program to create the list of 5 fruits. So what you can do, you can create the for example, fruits will be the variable name, and by using the syntax of writing, you are going to write down the name of any 5 food that you, if you like or you don't like, that is your choice. Now the second thing is you are going to write the roll number of your 5 friends. The next one is first 5 even numbers. We can start with 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, like that. This will be the even number. Now the next question is we have to create a nested list for displaying what? Name, mobile numbers of your 5 friends, and we have to display it also by using the for loop. So we have already discussed how we are going to access individual element of your nested loop by using the nested for loop. Then all the alphabets of the word Mumbai. So each and every character should be stored separately, and will be the first character, U will be the second character, so on. Any vegetable name taking, and how we will this thing write the, or we will assign, we will take the element of your list as a vegetable name is that we are going to ask user to enter the vegetable name. So which function you have to use, that you have to remember. And the last one is very favorite, that you have to write the any your favorite actor name by using the list function. Hope you will try to solve all these questions, and if possible, if you request in the comment if you want the solution, I will provide the solution also. The next topic is what are the operations that we can perform in list. The operations that we can perform are the membership, indexing, traversal, slicing, concatenation, and replication, in which we have already discussed indexing, and slicing is already covered in string video. So that video is already there. If you want, you can go and watch that video. I will provide the link in the description box. So first one is the membership. How we will check membership means whether the particular any membership to some we can say club. So how we are going to check whether the person is the member of that thing, that club is that, whether he has taken that membership or not. He is the actual member of that club or not. So in Python, how we will check the membership is by using in operator. So the keyword will be in. So this in operator, what is going to do is check whether a given element is a member or the element of the list. So what is the method of checking? By using the element of the list which is present and using the in keyword and from the sequence. Okay, so the sequence, for example, here could be a list. So suppose here we are having list 1 that I have created having the element 10, 20 and 30. So now I'm going to check whether 10 is an element of your list 1. So for that, by using following this method, element that is 10 in this keyword sequence, which is your list name, which is list 1. So what it's going to do is going to return boolean value either true or false. So as it is sending or it is returning true or false value, it can be used with if statement, for statement, while statement, and can be used with the print statement. It can be used in the assignment expression also. So here we are having, we are trying to use this with the print statement. So list one is 1, 2, 3, and we are checking whether 5 is a member of list one or not by using the format 5 in list one. So what is going to, this is not a member, so it's going to return false value as we are using this with the this thing with the print statement. So it's going to print false on the screen. Now the next one is indexing. Indexing, we had already covered indexing. Suppose we are having a string variable name. So we to this variable name, I am assigning a string John. So how this John will be stored? It will be stored. J will be stored at index number 0, O at index number 1, H at index number 2, and 3 at index number 3. So how we are going to access all the indexes here? So the indexes will be string and index number. We had already discussed this with the list also. How we going to access the first character by using your sequence number and the index. So here we have name of 0, that means J will be printed, name of 1, that is 0 will be printed, O will be printed. And for displaying on the accessing all the elements of your string one using the for loop for I in name, how many characters are there in the name is 4 characters. So first the value of I will be J, so J will be printed. Next time the value of I will be O, so O will be printed. Next time the value of I will be H, H will be printed, and then the value of I will be N, the N will be printed. Now the range function also we had discussed, so we will skip this one. Now the traversal of the string, that also we had discussed. So if you are having any confusion, so we will let us revise. A is a list containing 2, 4, 6, and we are using range function, range length of A. How many elements are here? We are having 3 elements. I ka value initially will be 0. So it will print whatever is present in I. So what is present in I? 0. So it will give that index number, but we don't want that index number. We want element which is present here. So for that, what are we going to write? We are going to write x of I. Okay, so we are going to, by mistake, we are going to write only I here. You will get the indices, but I don't want the indices. I want the element which is present here. So we have to make a note of this. We are putting I, only indices will be displayed. And if you want the element which is present and the index, so we have to use the list name and then square bracket and then index number. Then the slashing. Slashing already covered in your string, so you can watch that video. I will provide the description. We will provide the link in the description. Now we are having this list concatenation. Concatenation means adding the two lists. Suppose we are having, and what is going to return? So it is going to return as the sum is going to return a newly created list. So as going to create is going to return a list, we can use that output with the print statement, or we can use with the assignment statement. Okay, but we cannot use with the if and for loop. So here we are having s is equal to 1 list, that is 1, 2, 3, which is an integer data type, t which is the character data type. Then also we can add 2 different lists. So list plus list is allowed, but list plus with some other data type is not allowed. Here also we are having 1, 2, 3 and PQR, and now here I have what I have used, as it is going to return a new list. It can be used with the print statement, and here the list is used, that newly created new list is assigned to a new list variable u. So what is u? U is the list which is the sum of list s and list t. So if you are going to print list u, what I am going to get? We will get all the character of s in. Now here only concatenation is allowed with the list and list. No, with not allowed. So list 1 plus list 2 is allowed. List 1 with some other data type is not allowed. Suppose here we are adding list z with integer number 5. So this is not allowed. It will generate error message. Now replication means we are going to repeat something. So how we are going to do, and this replication will be temporary. It is not going to modify your list. It's not going to modify your original list. How we are going to do is do this thing is we are having list name into the multiplier. Suppose we are having L and into multiplier for example 3. So whatever the elements of the list L will be printed, will be displayed, or will be we can say, if we are going to use with the print statement, it is going to be displayed 3 times. Here we are having list which is containing the element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are going to use the multiplier, that is into 2, the element, and we are using with the print statement. Only if you are going to write list name and multiplication the sign and the multiplier, it's not going to print anything. What we do, we have to print with the print statement. Then only what is going to generate is going to display 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is the first occurrence, and then it's going to repeat for the second time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here again we are having list which is 2, 4, 6. We are having n list which is containing element 2, 4, 6, and we are multiplying it 2. So we are getting twice the elements will be displayed. And if we are going to print only m, so if you now going to, the elements are now going to be replicated twice, because this is temporary replication. It's not going to modify your original list. But if you want to modify, if you want to store it, because it's going to return a list, so here I am using the assignment statement. So as it is returning the multiplied element of the list, I can use with the print statement, or I can use with the assignment expression. So is equal to m into 2. Now a will be the modified version of your m, which is having the replicated elements of your list m. Now we will discuss what are the built-in functions which are ready to use by the list present in Python. Finding the length of the list, that is where we had already discussed. Here we are having sublist. So how many elements are present? 1, 2, 3, and this will be present treated as the fourth element. So the length of the list is 4. Now making the copy. So how we can create a copy of the list is by using the assignment expression. So we are printing the list L. So what we are getting, I'm getting here 1, 2, 3, 4, and if we are printing P, what I'm getting here again, same thing, because that is by using the assignment expression, both the lists are same. The second method is by using the copy function. So how we're going to use the copy function is without using any parenthesis. The way of you writing the copy function is the list variable name dot copy and without any parenthesis. So X is having the element 1, 2, 3, 4. So what A will contain? Again, A will contain the exact copy of X. So what print A, because of that I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4. Another method is by using the list function. B is equal to list of X. So here B will contain the exact copy of your list X. Another method is by using the slashing. Slashing we have discussed in string video. So this is nothing is given as a start point and nothing is given as the end point. That means the entire string will be copied into list C, and if we are going to print in list C, what we are going to get? We are going to get the same copy of list X. Now modifying the content of modifying the element of the list. Suppose I'm having the list which is containing 44, 2, and 12. So how it will look like? So here suppose it is present at the location number 100. So at location number 100, 44, 2, and 12 is present. Now we are having the expression B is equal to A. So now B is again going to point at the same element, which is nothing but which is your address number 100. So A and B are now pointing to same address. Suppose your A is the father of the family and B is the mother of the family. So both are residing at the same house. So A and B are residing at the same house. So if we are going to call that father, the father will having the same value, same address, and the mother is also going to have the same address. So both are pointing to the same address. So if you're going to modify the element of B, so what is going to do? It is going to automatically change the element of A also. Okay. So suppose the address of the mother is changed. The mother has changed his address. They started residing at some other area, at some other house. So if the mother's address is changed, so automatically the father's address is going to be changed. So here, if the element of B is changed, automatically the element of A is also going to be changed. How we are going to access the address of any variable, that is your list, is by using the id function. So what is the way of using id is id and the variable name. So what is going to display is going to display the address. So this is the address, we can say the of father, and what is the address of the mother, it will be same. So both are having the same address, and if the address is changed, that is a b of 1 is equal to 222. So this location is changed. So if this is changed, the allocation of a is also going to be changed. So what we are going to see after the modification, the previous value, for example, here it was 2, and after the modification, it was 22. So b of 1. So instead of 2, now we are having 22. So if we are going to display a, then also we are going to see 22 here, and if we are going to display b, then also we are going to see 22 value here. So if you don't want that thing, okay, if anyone is changing the address of both the elements is going to change. We don't want that thing. So what we are going to do, we are going to use the copy function. The copy function means now the address of the mother will be different and address of the father will be different. So if the element, any element of that list is going to change, is not going to change the element of any other list. So what is the address of list A here is this is the address, and now because of E of 1, because of E is equal to A dot copy, the E is having the different address and A is going to have the different address. And because of that statement, B is equal to A and B both are having the same address. Now E is having the different address and A is having the different address. So if E is changing its elements, it's not going to change the element of A. So here we can say, if we are going to display the list A, what we are going to see is 44, 22 and 12. And after the modification of E of 1 is equal to 0, E is going to change its second element. Now how we are going to add the elements at the end of the list. For adding the element at the end of the list, we are going to use append function. So how many elements can be added at the end? Only one element is allowed to append at the end. Now what is the method of using the append function? The method of using the append function is similar to the method of using extend. Here method of using the extend is list variable dot extend element, and if you want to use append function, it will be list variable dot append and the element. So here we are having list xy containing 1, 2, 3 and the p2 which will be the sub element. Now we want to add 90 at the end. So what I'm going to do by using this method list variable, which is your xy dot, and instead of extend we are trying for append. So append and the element, that is 90. So if you are going to print the list variable, so what 90 I can see at the end. Now suppose I want to add two or more than one values by using the append function, but append function allows only one element. So if you are trying for appending more than one value, it will generate error message. So how we can solve this problem? I want to append two values, but that is not possible by using append function. That is possible by using extend function. So what is the way of using the extend function is this variable name dot extend, and here we are appending sub list. As we are appending the sub list, that means definitely we are going to have a sequence of elements. So the sequence of element has to be separated by comma. So here we are having one list and we want to append it. And one more, but first we will see how to extend. By using the extend method, 90 and 91 will be added as the elements. They are not going to be extended by using, they are not going to be appended as the new sublist. But if we are going to append by using the set notation, so that will be appended as a sublist. First of all, only by using the append function, only one element will be added at the element. So if you want to append more than one element as the only element of your list, I have to use extend function, and within the parentheses I have to put the square bracket, otherwise it will generate error message. And if we are trying the same concept, square bracket, and within the square bracket, I am typing the sequence of element that I want to append. This will be by using the append function. This will be appended as a sub list. Okay, now the insert element. Insert is to insert something new. Where to insert and what to insert. So what is the method is this name dot insert function where we want to insert something and what we want to insert new element. Okay, so we are having L is equal to 1437. Print the element of the list L. Because all the elements of the list will be printed. Now I want to insert something new in between. Append and extensive, we can add the element at the end, but I want in between to be inserted, something to be inserted in between, or in the beginning or in the middle position. So the index where I want to insert something. So I want to insert at the index number 2 means I am inserting at the position number 3, and what I'm inserting is higher. So after printing so this is going to modify your entire list. So the original list will be affected or going to modify. So if you're going to print the original list, that will be after modification, after insertion. So what is going to do? 0, 1, and 2 at the second position, as the second index. I is inserting. I am suppose I want to insert at the position number 2. I want to insert 100. So what will be the second position here? 0, 1, and 2. So here instead of high, 100 will be printed and high will be at the position number 3. Now I can use negative indexing also for inserting the value. So by with the -1, -2, -1 here, that is at this is at -1 position, this is -2 position, and after that will be inserted by using the negative indexing. Now count function. What the count function will do? It will count the occurrence of the element in the list. So it will give the total, we can say how many times that element is repeated in your list. Suppose we are having, and what is going to return? It is going to return integer value. As it is returning integer value, it can be used with the if statement, for statement, while statement, then it can be used with the assignment statement and can be used with the print statement also. So here we are having Z, which is a list containing this many elements. I want to count the number of ones that appear here. So how many times 1 is repeated? It is repeated 3 times. So what is the method? This name dot count and the element, which element I want to count. Now I want to count the number of occurrence of E in B. So this is your first string and this is your second string. So second string is by A of I. In A of I, how many E's are present? So your list name dot count and which element you want to count. So E has appeared twice. Now I want to remove an element from the given position or from the last position. So what is the method is we have to use the pop function. The pop, how we can use the pop function is that list variable dot pop and written without any element in the parenthesis. So what is going to do? It will delete and return the last element. So it will delete from the original list the last element of the list, and that element will be written, will be given to you. So as we are having some number or some string or some element, it can be used with the print statement, if statement, while statement, for loop, or the assignment expression. So here we are having a list, and now I am popping. So it will be pop here, 5 number will be pop, and if you are going to print, so it's going to alter the your original list. Because of that, 5 will be removed from the list. The second method is from which position you want to pop. So pop without index, that is similar to your append. Append is always appending at the end. And if you want to insert in between, so we have to use insert function. And if you want to pop any element in between, we are going to use the pop function in the index number. So here, what is going to do is going to perform the same function. So it will remove from the position number 2. So what is there in position number 2? We have to first find the index. This is index number 0, index number 1, index number 2. So 35 will be removed. So if you want to modify, so the original list will be modified. If you want to print, what we are going to see, the 35 is deleted. The next one is delete function. So what is going to do? It's going to delete the element from the list. So we can use the delete function, that is del, and the list name. Here can use slashing method also, from where to till what. Suppose I want to delete the sublist, sub elements, more than one element. So at that time I can use this function. So here one example is given: delete your list starting with index number 0, 2 to 4. So 0, 1, 2. So from here till 4. So 35, 4 will be deleted because the last limit -1 till last limit -1 it is going to delete. So we are not finding 34, 35 and 4 in your original list now. If you want to delete only one element, okay, so what I'm going to use, I'm going to use delete list name and only the index. So here we are having L of 3. So this is the number which is present at position number 4. So 0, 1, 2 and 3. So 4 will be removed from the list. Now if you want to delete the entire list, directly I will write delete L, and if you want to check whether the list is present or not, if you want to display it, if you want to display the thing which is not there, it will generate the error message. So after displaying the list, you want to print the content of the list, it will generate error message. The next element is the next function is remove function. The method is using list variable name dot remove and the element, which element you want to remove. So in your delete function, I have to specify the index. Now if you want to specify the element, which element I want to remove, so I can directly specify the element by using the remove function. In delete function, I have to specify index. In remove function, I have to give the direct element name. So here L.remove 11. So 11 is going to be removed. Again, we are having this kind of list. If you want to remove 11, here the 11 is repeated twice, and if I am going to use so L.remove 11, the first occurrence of 11 will be removed from your list. Now index function. Index function is going to give you the index of your element, at what index that element is present. So again, it's going to return index of element, which is an integer. So this is the integer. We can use it with the if statement, for statement, while statement, assignment and print statement. So here we are in print L dot index 2. What is the index of your element 2? So this is 0 and 1. So element 1 will be displayed. Now we are having clear method. Clear method is going to clear that element from your list. How we are going to use is list dot clear. Now directly we're going to delete all elements. So L dot clear, that is going to clear all the element and it's going to generate. If you want to print it, what kind of output we will get? We will get this square bracket. This is your empty. We can say empty list. And if you are going to delete the entire list by using del, and after that we are going to display it, you will get the error message. So what is the difference between clear and delete? So here in clear, you are having a house and you are clearing it, and delete means you are not having any house. Okay, so if you are having any house, so that house will be displayed in the form of empty list. And if you are not having any house because of del L, so that how that house address or house will be printed. So that is the difference between clear and del. Now the reverse function is going to reverse the string. So we are having this kind of contents of your list L, and what is the method? Directly list name dot reverse. So it's going to print that list. And the original list is going to modify. That's why we are having print L. So the L will contain the modified version in the reverse format of your list. Now we are having list name dot sort. So what is going to do is going to sort the element in the ascending order, and it is going to do the permanent sorting. So we are having this kind of elements are there. So if we are having duplicate also, the duplicates are also going to be sorted. So L dot sort, if we are going to print L, that means the sorting is done permanently on your original list. Now if you want to sort in the descending order, what is going to do is what we have to write this same dot sort reverse is equal to true. So sort के साथ में what we have to add reverse is equal to true as a parameter. So your original list will be sorted in descending order. Now if you don't want your list to be modified after the sorting, so what I can use, I can use the sorted method. What is the way of using the sorted method is sorted and the parenthesis. Within the parenthesis, I have to supply the list name. So we are here, we are having list L, and if you want to sort only for the temporary, for only for a few seconds, I want that only for calculation or any for this thing displaying. So what I can do, or can use the sorting method, sorted L. So it will be temporarily is going to sort the content. So what we are going to, we can see because of this print statement, I can see this sorted list, and after that, this is now going to modify your original list. So if we are going to print your original list, we will get the original content of your list. Now we are having minimum function. It's very simple. It's going to calculate, it's going to find out the least value which is present in your list. So what is a way of using minimum, min, and the least min? What is going to return is going to return the smallest value, as it is returning something. It can be used with for loop, if statement, print statement, equal to, and while loop. All the data values should be of the same time. We cannot have different data values whenever we are using min function, because min function can be used with a floating point number or with the character, with the string, also with the floating point number, with the integer number, but we cannot mix that in your list. So the elements of the list should be of the same data type. We want to find the minimum. So here if the list is there and I want to find the minimum of this list, so the answer will be 2. And here we are having combination of character and the integer number, so it is going to generate a message. Then we are having maximum. Again, the maximum is similar to your min function. It's going to return the largest value. It can be used as it is returning some value. It can be used with for loop, this statement, while loop, equal to, print statement. So here, what is the way, max, and the name of the list. What is going to return is going to return maximum value. Then the sum, what is going to do is going to find the sum of all the elements. What is the method, or how we can write down sum and the list name. So what if you're going to print sum of L, again this is returning some, this is returning integer value. It can be used with the print statement, while statement, for statement, equal to, assignment statement, and the print statement, and again all the data values of the same time for minimum, maximum, and sum function. Now here we are having test 2. You have to solve it by yourself, try to solve it, and if you need discuss the solution of this thing, and so you can write them in the comment that you want solutions. I will create one video for solutions. Okay, so this is the end of the list. Now we will go to the next topic, which is called as a tuple. Now what is a tuple? Again, the tuple, which is similar to your list, is going to contain different data values, but the difference between list and tuple, the first difference is that we have to use parentheses, whereas in the list we have to use square bracket. And the second difference between the tuple and the list is that we cannot change the values of your list element. Okay, so what is the way of creating that is the, which is similar to your list method? Variable name equal to parentheses, collection of different data values separated by commas. So here we are having roll number 1, 2, 3. Now they are enclosed by parentheses, then equal to some variable name. Here we are having result tuple, which is having 3 different data values: integer, string, and a floating point number. Now how we can create the tuple, which is similar to how we have created list. by directly using the function by using the parentheses 1 comma 2 comma 2.4 and a, and we are going to print p, so we will get this value. If then second method is by using the tuple with the string function. So here ABC will be stored separately as A, B and C. Now tuple cannot, if you are using the tuple function, only one string at a time is allowed. We cannot have more than one string, otherwise we are going to generate error message. Now if you want to pass more than one values to be as an element of your tuple, so we have to enclose in square bracket, that is we have to pass a list. Immutable means we cannot change the values of your tuple by using assignment expression. This is at index number 0, this is index number 1, this is index number 2. That is, I want to change this value. So for that, I'm writing P of 2 by using indexing. So if you're using P of 2 is equal to 35, it's going to generate error message. The list and tuples are same, indexing, slicing, the operations are same, membership operations same, concatenation same, replication, traversal, and all the built-in functions are same, except two things is that we cannot change the element of a tuple and we have to use parentheses. Now, what is the difference between tuple and string? So here we have P is equal to John. I have created one string. So we are going to type. We want to print the type of the P. So this is string. Now we are having within the parentheses we are writing John. So that will be again string data type. If we are writing this thing with the comma, only one comma will convert is data type from string to tuple. Only one comma will make a huge difference. Okay, now one more interesting topic in tuple is unpackaging. So what is unpackaging means? If your father has got one gift for you people, and there are four siblings, so there has to be four gifts for each and every child. So here we are having tuple T is having, for example, four elements, four children. For children, if you want to unpack, so each gift should be given to each of the child. So if you want to unpack, that means one will be given to one child. Gift number one should be given to first child. Gift number two should be given to the second child, and so on. So that means there has to be individual entities, individual variable name based on the number of elements present in your list, in your tuple. That means if we are having four elements in the list, in the tuple, there has to be four variables for storing individual value of your tuple. So here we are having W will contain 1, X will contain 2, Y will contain 2.4, and Z will contain 8. So this is called as unpackaging. So T is containing in the package format, that is containing a package of 1, 2, 2.4 and 8. Then it will be distributed to W, X, Y, Z like that. So if you want to print the values of X, W, X, Y, Z, what is going to display is going to display this. So we note down the difference, the notation. Here there are print P. P is a tuple. So they are packaged by use. They are enclosed. They are bounded by the parentheses and separated by comma. But after unpackaging, they are separated by the space, and there is no tuple notation. There is no parentheses. Now you get to repeat all the questions which are present in test 1, test 2 for your list, and the remaining questions, that is you have to write tuple for any 5 even numbers, and you have to do the following thing: display occurrence of number 2 in the tuple, how many times the number 2 is repeated, of the element present at the fourth position, so which function you have to use, and if you're using pop function, what kind of variation of the pop function should be used. Sort the tuple in descending order, sort the sorted tuple in a new tuple, and remove all the elements from the tuple. Hope you will solve all the questions by your own without any kind of cheating. Okay. Now we are having third data set, data type, which is called as the set. Now what is a set? It is again a collection of different data values which are separated by comma. Now how it is different from this thing from the tuple and the list is that uh, list for list we are using this square bracket, for the tuple we are using parenthesis, and for the set we have to use the set notation, that is the curly braces will be there. Okay, now we are having s is equal to 22, 3, 6 and 4, which is a set, and we are printing the value of s, so it is going to print 3, 4, 22 and 6. And one more thing, assignment operation is not allowed in set. So what is going to do? How set is different from the tuple and the list is that if there are some repeated values, so what is going to do is going to generate only one occurrence of that repeated value. So here we are having set S having 22, 3, 6, 22 and 4. So what is going to do is going to display 22 only once. So this is how the set is different from list and tuple. First thing is we have to use the curly braces. Second thing, how it is different from the list is that assignment operation is not allowed, and how it is different from tuple and the list is that repeated values are displayed only once. Now inserting only single element is by using the add function set name dot add and the element. So which element you want to add? We want to add 100, and this is not uh, how it is different from the list function is by using append. We are going to append at the end of the list, but by using add function it will be inserted anywhere in the set. Okay, inserting the sequence again, if you want to add the sequence, that means again a list, but the list has to be enclosed by using the square bracket, and we have to use the update function. And again, as we are updating, we are attaching a list, and the element of the list has to be separated by comma, and where it is going to be stored, the position is not fixed, can be stored anywhere. So suppose s is equal to 22, 3, 6, 22, 4, and we are printing in. So after updating, so what are we going to do? What we are going to see that 10, 22 and a, they are stored anywhere in the set. Again we are having new element 23, 44, 45 and 1 to be inserted in s. So how they are inserted, this is not always, because the position is not fixed, it can be stored, it can be update, or it can be add the element randomly anywhere in the set. Now set does not support indexing, slashing, concatenation, replication and assignment. So set is having very limited functions and functionalities, like only membership and traversal, and it will support built-in function. Now the practice question is we have to repeat all the questions of the set and tuple. So this is the end of the set. Now we will have the one more, and which is the last data set, which is called as dictionary, which is mutable. Okay, what is mutable is that we can change the values. Now how the dictionary is stored? So what is the meaning of dictionary? So whenever we are going to when we are going to see the dictionary is that we are having some word, and that some word is having some meaning. So we are having word and meaning relationship. So similarly, what is a dictionary? It is a collection of key and value pair which is enclosed in parentheses. So if the values are only the values are enclosed in the parentheses, it will be called as a set. But if we are having the combination of key and value which are combined by using the colon operator, like here, key and the value, they are combined with the colon operator, that will create dictionary in Python. So what is the method is variable name equal to within the curly braces. What we are having within the curly braces, we are having key and the key value pair which are combined, we can say, by the colon. So here we have created a D is equal to, we can say it can be now we are having this thing curly braces, so it can be a set also. So here print D. So this is D. Now D of 1 is equal to 10, D of 6 is equal to 34. Now as we are using assignment operation, so assignment operation is allowed in dictionary, it's not allowed in set. Now what values we are adding? We are providing only the values. We are not providing the keys. The keys will be automatically provided. So the key for the value 10 is uh, is 1. The key for value 34 is 6. The key for value 12 is 2. We will take one more example of dictionary. Suppose we are having phone dictionary. So whenever we are having phone dictionary, we are having name and the phone number. Suppose I want to know the name of Ram. So from the dictionary, I have to search the name Ram, and the Ram will be treated as a key, and the value, that is the phone number, will be treated as a value. So here we are how we can create the dictionary by using the dictionary method without using the parentheses, and this is how we are assigning the values. Here we are assigning the value. So what will be the key? So here the keys are mentioned. D of 1. So this is your key and this is your value. This is D of 7. So this is your key value, that is 7, and we are assigning the value here. Okay. Now we are having 2 is the key and 34 is the value, 7 is the key and 56 is the value. So how we are going to write dictionary? Always you have to remember that within the parentheses we have to write key colon value format for creating the values for creating the elements of your dictionary. So here we have a student name Ram and the roll number is 23. So the name of the student is Ram and his roll number is 23. Will make the elements of the dictionary, provided they should be combined with the help of colon. Now we are having at keys keys 2 and values 35, 34. Keys name and the value is Tina. Key is 3.4 and the value is 5. That is not necessary that the key always has to be integer. It can be integer, it can be name, and it can be a floating point number. Now how we can access the elements of the dictionary in the same way that we have used by using indexes. So I can use as an index the key number. So the key number can be used as the indexes. So as in the previous example, we are having name as a key. So if you are going to display your dictionary variable name within the parentheses, we are writing key. So I will get the value. The student and the roll number. So the dictionary name was student, and suppose the dictionary name was student and we are having roll number. So roll number is the key. So what is going to do is going to return the value of that key. Now we are having dictionary with the key as 1, value is 20, key is 2, and the value is 45. And now I'm printing D of 1. So what is going to print? That is the key value. So what is present at 1, that is value 20 will be displayed. Now if you are going to display all the items, key value pair, display all the elements of the dictionary, all the key values, key and the values has to be printed, so I can use D dot item. So what I'm going to get, I'm going to get this kind of format, which is nothing but the key, that is 1 and value 10, 1 comma 10, the key 12 and the value 20, 12 comma 20, like this. Now if you want to display only the keys which are present, so that is 1, 12 and 6, what I'm going to use, I can use a format built-in function, which is called as a keys, but the way of writing is dictionary variable name dot keys. What is going to return is going to return all the key values. Now if you want to display only the values, that is 10, 20 and 89, so I can use the built-in function values. The method of using is dictionary variable name dot values. So it's going to return all the values. Now accessing the values, how we can access the value. Suppose we are having this dictionary and I'm printing the what is present in E, so it is going to print this thing. Now I'm adding a new key and having the value 45. So this is the method by using the assignment expression And after that, if you are going to print the value, all the values, all the elements of the dictionary, so I can print by using print E. Now for traversal, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use the for loop that we have discussed. So same method is present here. The value of I in X. So how many elements are present? 1, 2, 3. So what is going to print? Print I. So what is present in I is your keys are going to be displayed. Okay, now if you want to display the values, so what is the value 10 and 20? So which for loop I'm going to use? For I in D dot values. So how many values are there? 2 and 20. So first of all, the value of I will be 10. So 10 will be printed. Next time the value of I will be 20. So 20 will be displayed. Now adding the two dictionary, adding the elements. Adding the two dictionaries by using the update function. So how we can combine them by using the update function is that. So here this is the source which I want to modify. In this A1, I want the element of A2. So what I am going to write A1, which is the destination, dot update source. So from where I want the content. So after this, what is A1? So A1 will be updated. So what will be the contents of A1 is nothing but A1 equal to A1 plus A2. So this A1 dot update of A2 indicates A1 equal to A1 plus A2. So if you are going to print A1, so what I'm going to get? I'm going to get the updated A1, whereas your source will be remain as it is. The next function is deleting element. So how the same function that we have used in set and tuple D of 6 will be deleting by using the key number, or we can use the pop function also. So we are going to use D dot pop 12, so that key pair value of 12 will be deleted. So it is going to support all the inbuilt function which is present in list, tuple, and set. So here for the practice, we have to repeat all the questions which are given in test number 1, test number 2, and test number 3. So this is all of your things which I have discussed. This is all about the data type, sequence data type which is present in Python, that is list, tuple, set, dictionary. Hope you people have understood all the concept, and if you are having any difficulty, you can comment and do subscribe, share, and like the videos. Thank you.